1987, Sonny Leonard, the man who created some of the most powerful motors in IHRA Pro Stock and at that time Top Sportsman history, created a very exclusive club for the members in Top Sportsman Eliminator who would exceed 200 miles per hour with a full-body passenger car. That club met with tremendous success, not only from the fans, but from the drivers who became the first 16 to break that magic mark. Now with Pro Stock back to its original mountain-motored unlimited form in IHRA racing, Sonny Leonard has created a new club. This one for the first 16 drivers who break the 200 mile per hour barrier in Pro Stock. So far in 1991, we've seen 199 mile per hour speed from Carlton Phillips Chevy Beretta, and the magic barrier is getting closer. What all does a membership in this exclusive group entail?
The first person to break the 200 mile per hour barrier gets a solid gold ring. He gets $1,500 and a jacket and a plaque, and the other 15 get the remainder as they qualify for the 200.
So everybody will have, like the old Top Sportsman Club, the exclusive jacket and recognition throughout the industry in that respect.
Exactly.
Do you think there's going to be another big barrier breaking situation we'll see? How about a 6-second Pro Stock Club? Is that somewhere near in the future?
It's a good possibility. You may see 690 at Darlington this fall, a couple months from now.
That's pretty close. You're only talking about 4 or 5 weeks.
Exactly right.
It's no secret that Sonny Leonard's engines in Pro Stock are producing a phenomenal amount of horsepower. How about over 1,300 with just gas and carburetors? And I'll tell you something, the 6-second zone, like Sonny said, isn't too far away. But right now, the big battle is for the first 200. And that's what's making IHRA Pro Stock just that much more exciting.
You got that right, Brett. Let's pick up the action in the quarterfinals of Pro Stock. Starting out with the fastest Pro Stock in IHRA history, Harold Denton out of Middlesex, North Carolina. His opponent, the new star in the series, Billy Huff from Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Billy Huff comes from a long drag racing family. His father, Sherrill Huff, drove modified cars on the IHRA trail for years and currently operates Ohio Valley Raceway in Louisville, Kentucky. Good start for Huff, taking on Harold Denton in the left lane. Huff has the advantage of half track. We'll see if he can hold him to the finish, and he does. Huff upsets Harold Denton with a sensational 7.19192. Let's watch this replay real close now. In the far lane, Harold Denton made one last creep towards the staging beam, then stopped. Billy Huff got a clean getaway and shut him down.
Kid's out again. I'll tell you, you shook him up at Norwalk, North Carolina, low qualifier there in a field of hitters, and now you're in the semifinal, 7-19. This thing's sailing.
Well, that's great. We've been working hard all weekend. We've had plenty of problems, but we've got Parnelli in the win this weekend.
I'll tell you, a lot of Pro Stock drivers who know talent when they see it have said that you are definitely the rising star in this category, and your reaction times are so astounding. You've had only really limited experience in sportsman ranks. What are you doing in this thing?
I don't know. Beginner's luck, probably.
I don't know about that, but still a great job. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ray.
And speaking of second-generation racers, here comes Tim Neighbors of the Neighbors Father and Son Engine Building Concern from Lawrenceville, Georgia. He finds himself in a quarterfinal matchup with a 5-time IHRA World Champion, the quickest Pro Stock driver of all time, Ricky Smith. Ricky running 732 cubic inches of Pontiac power. Neighbors gets away with him. Ricky is the all-time starter as well as winner in IHRA competition with 28 victories. He picks up an elimination win here over Neighbors. Ricky Smith with a 7.20. They really need to be down in the teens, though, if they're going to win this race. You see Ricky Smith getting away first. Our ESPN half-track and photo finish cameras show you how he lengthened the margin to the end.
I'll tell you what, you're seeing a lot of teens here, even in the heat, and you're not one of them. A 20, you know, but why? Why is the car not running that quick?
It shook in second gear that time again, but that's what happened to us last night. I don't know what's going on with my car. It's shaking real bad in second and slipping a clutch in third. I'm having a time trying to get a handle on the clutch.
What's the deal with the helmet?
Oh, you know, just a little radio communication.
The tape is with the radio stuff? What's the tape on the side?
That's just to keep me from seeing other cars. You know, I overdrive a car from watching somebody else run.
So it's blinders for Ricky, is what it is.
Just like old Mule, put blinders on so he goes straight.
Well, they're working so far. See you in the semi.
Thank you.
Ricky's at it again. Our third matchup, Pat Shea from Milwaukee, Wisconsin against Billy Ewing out of Snellville, Georgia, and it went to Billy by that much. Now our final matchup, Steve Williford against Doug Kirk. Well, we'll show you what happens. Sometimes getting a good start in drag racing competition is a matter of psyching out your opponent. We'll speed up the tape. Tell us what happened, Ted. Well, Jim Blakely had a cool head here. This is called a burn down, and very unusual for two second-generation inexperienced drivers to do this. You'll see Blakely just sets down and waits and waits and waits. He says, guys, I got all day if you do. Sooner or later, somebody's going to have a heat problem in their engine, and Jim knows that. Now, there could be a problem with the loss of heat buildup in the tires from the burnout, and that's exactly what happens to Steve Welford. He goes up in smoke. With that, Doug Kirk moves into the semifinals where Ricky Smith will have lane choice. Billy Huff will have lane choice in his matchup with Billy Ewing. When we come back, Pro Modifieds, and we'll take a ride on a cannonball. Welcome back to Norwalk Raceway Park in Norwalk, Ohio, and the IHRA Loctite Tostiasti Spumani World Nationals. Before we get back to the action, here's Brett Kepner with a track fact.
One of the most intriguing new pieces of equipment in the professional category pits here at the Tostiasti Spumani Loctite World Nationals is on the Ford Pro Stocker of Alvin Whaley and, of course, its driver Floyd Cheek. It's a sensor that will read tire temperature at any point going down the racetrack. The infrared photocell is located underneath the car, and, of course, it shoots a high beam of light right into the tire. That feeds the computer information about how hot the tire is getting. Now, obviously, if there's a serious rise in temperature somewhere going down the racetrack, that can only be caused by friction. So Floyd Cheek instantly knows where the car is spinning the tires.
All right, thank you, Brett. We are ready for quarterfinal action in Pro Modified. And our first matchup, Fast Freddie Hahn against Bill 200-mile-an-hour Coolman. Coolman running a 698 cubic inch Chevrolet engine inside that Camaro. Freddie Hahn, of course, with a 526 cubic inch supercharged Rodex Chevrolet replica motor. Pro Modified, of course, is perhaps the most unlimited class in all of drag racing, as you see the big belt that turns the blower atop Freddie Hahn's supercharged engine. The feared Freddie Hahn dominated last year in IHRA competition and has been since respected by everyone in the category. In the foreground, Bill Coolman in that radically altered Chevy Camaro body shape. Both cars away cleanly. Looks like Coolman might have the advantage in the near lane. Now Hahn at half track holds him off, but Coolman comes back. Bill Coolman stops Jim Audie's feared car with a 6.90 and much jubilation by the crew as they head back to the pit area. Well, in fact, Bill Coolman's had a couple of lean seasons since helping promote this class back in 1990, but he comes up with a big victory here. He will move on into the semifinals. At the half track, we can see that Coolman just nudged out Jim Audie's car at that point, and at the finish line, he had him by about 10 feet. Let's get down to the big end now with Brett Kepner.
I'll tell you what, that'll put a smile on any nitrous racer's face. You'll be happy with this one, though. 690. And I'll tell you, he was right with you and was pedaling it on a 699.
But you know what? Something happened that I didn't catch until right when we hit the starting line. I stuck my head way up in the cage. I could see the tree. I didn't have to use the mirror. I think that might have helped.
You mean all this time that you thought you couldn't see the Christmas tree, you just weren't sitting up high enough?
No, this particular one.
Oh, okay.
This particular one, I stretched, and there it was. I said, uh-oh, new game plan.
Well, I'll put you in the semifinals, and right now we've had so many winners with problems. You're far and away the quickest winner here.
Well, let's just hope we don't have problems.
We'll see you in the pits.
Thank you.
One of the problems of running a big hood scoop like you see on Al Billis's car right there, many of the drivers having to use mirrors to see over them and get a look at the Christmas tree. Now, Al Billis had the biggest upset of the first round. In the right lane, #1 in points coming in, Scotty Cannon, and Billis mowed him down. Here's a look at what things are like inside Scotty Cannon's cockpit. You will notice Scotty's hand on the first to second gear lever. That's only a 3-speed lingo that Scotty's running. They run either 3 or 4 speeds. Scotty looks over at his competitor to see when he's staging, and he's ready to go right now. Watch him shift the gears as we go down the track. He merely moves his hand from one lever to the next. There's second gear, third gear. Drive it on through. Now he goes up, his hand over his shoulder, opens the parachute. That's it. But it wasn't good enough on this day. Points leader Scotty Cannon out in the first round. Second in points, Wally Stroop did not make the field, so there's plenty of opportunity here for those further down in the points. Now we'll watch Billis in the quarterfinals against the pride of Lucasville, Ohio, Brian Gom. Good launch for the Canadian Billis, who has Gom covered all the way to the finish. Now Billis, a new world record 6.85 seconds, 198 miles per hour. The Canadian is plenty hot. He's been running strong lately, and everybody had better take notice of Al Billis. In fact, Al Billis just broke a record set in the previous round by Tim McCamus, who we will be watching next.
You know, your first round 687 was an exceptional run, but got to tell you, my friend, you're the first man ever to take the Pro Modified ET world record out of the country. 685 with a 4, you got it from McCamus.
That's great. That is great. I don't know. We changed some things last night. We were struggling this weekend a bit. We burned a piston on Saturday, or Friday, sorry. But yeah, a combination. We got it together right now. Let's just hope we can keep it together and win this race.
Well, you were struggling even when you replaced motors in qualifying. Something drastic change from the last qualifying session to now.
We went from a large cubic inch engine down to a smaller one, and that made changed the whole car totally.
This thing's going backwards in time. A small wing and a small engine. What's next?
I don't know. I don't know.
Congratulations, new world record.
Thanks a lot.
Well, that's the thing with a new class. You don't know what combination is going to come up aces. A great day for Canada here at Norwalk. Al Billis takes the world record for ET in the Pro Mod class. A world record will also give Al Billis lane choice when he goes up against the legend Ronnie Sox in the semifinals. Bill Coolman will be up against Tim McCamus. Coolman with lane choice. We'll be back with more from Norwalk Race.